Hey guys, it's Nikki. So if you haven't noticed it yet, probably notice it now. I'm in a new place, and if you've been watching me for the past few videos that I've had before this, then you notice I'm in a new place. I moved out of my parents' house to go to university, so now I'm in a nice little apartment for students. And yeah, that's why it's been crazy and I haven't uploaded any videos, and I'm so sorry. I'm mostly sorry for myself because I feel so unproductive having not filmed anything for my YouTube channel, but yeah, it's only because I've been transitioning from moving from home all the way to university. Now that I'm a little bit settled in, it's Labor Day weekend, so I had a bit of time in my hands. Problem is I have a bit of a sore throat, so I'm sorry if my voice is a bit weird, if it sounds different and I keep doing that, because my throat is really bothering me. Hopefully it doesn't go into a full blown out sickness. That's my little spiel of why I haven't been posting videos in so long. But today's video is gonna be my thoughts and opinions on the new book by J.K. Rowling. It is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, written by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany, and Jack Thorne. This book is supposed to be the 8th story in the Harry Potter universe. It is a continuation of Deathly Hallows. It takes place after Deathly Hallows, after the epilogue in Deathly Hallows. It's in a screenplay form, like you get part 1 and then and then you get like act 1 and stuff. So it's all in script form. So this is very different compared to all the other, obviously all the 7 books in Harry Potter. So I came into this book seeing like everywhere on Tumblr mostly, on Tumblr, how people, I've seen the extremes of two sides. Like one side is like, I love it, it's amazing, and then the other side is like, I hate it, get it out of my face. So I've seen their reactions and their reasons for why they love it so much and why they hated it so much. So I had that already in my headspace before I even started reading the book. I wish I didn't. What can you do? I'm on Tumblr. Because I went into it thinking like, oh, some people hated it, so I was kind of like looking out for the times when I was going to hate it, so I can justify why some people hated it. And I was also at the same time trying to enjoy it, because it's a Harry Potter story. I love Harry Potter. Even if I didn't know like the reasons behind why people hated it, why people loved it, I think I would have come to the same conclusions, the conclusions that I have now in my thoughts and opinions about it. Obviously, if you haven't read this yet, you might not want to watch this video, or if you don't care about spoilers, then you can feel free to watch it. I gave this book 4 stars on Goodreads because, okay, so I'm gonna jump in literally in the spoilers part. One of the things that really bothered me the most about this was the fact that the main plot point of this, one of the main plot points, like the conflict, is that Voldemort had a kid with Bellatrix, so that in case he doesn't win the war, he has someone to bring him back to life, or at least to warn him or do something. So I really didn't buy that. I really didn't want to believe that, and I really didn't see him as someone who would plan that much. Because first of all, he is devoid of like human emotions, because he's just so against every human emotion. I don't know if he would have let himself like have a kid with Bellatrix. The argument could be made that, oh, they wouldn't have had a kid in like the normal sense, but he could have just like, I don't know, implanted something in Bellatrix to make her pregnant. But even then, I feel like Voldemort is a character that's super confident in himself, arrogant too, that he feels like he was so confident that, oh, I'm gonna win this, there's no way I could fail. So I think he wouldn't have had the idea to having that kind of thinking that he has to have a kid just in case. He wouldn't have had that feeling, that gut feeling like, oh, I need to have this just in case. I just didn't like that idea that he would have had a kid. That storyline kind of messed it up for me. So, but obviously that's the basis of this entire Cursed Child story, is that Voldemort does have a kid, and so now Harry and his kids get involved with the situation. Otherwise, the story would have been different if Voldemort didn't have a kid. So that was the one thing, the major thing about this story that I had a problem with. I mean, Voldemort already had Horcruxes. Like, he had 7 Horcruxes, so I don't think he would have had the idea to have an extra safety net of having a kid. I just didn't think he would have thought of that. So that's one of the things I didn't like about it. The second thing that, not that I didn't like about it, it just kind of disturbed me a little bit, because, okay, so after the final Harry Potter movie came out, the 7 part 2 came out, obviously I was one of the people who was just grasping at everything that related to the next generation of the Harry Potter people, because I became obsessed. So I was like, I need to know more about this universe, and I wanted the story to continue. So obviously I turned to fan fiction to look for stories about the next generation of kids. So all of those fan fiction stories about the next generation that I've read culminated into my own headcanon of like what I think the kids would be: Albus, James, Lily, Rose, Hugo, and Scorpius. So I've had ideas of how they are as people back in 2011, and now that this book comes out and to like as canon, is considered as canon to show like what kind of characters these people really are. I don't know, I mean, I guess I'm just biased that I'm sticking to my headcanons of how I thought Albus should have been, so it was kind of hard for me to read about Albus as he is in Cursed Child. It was so heartbreaking that he and Harry and his dad, Harry, just didn't get along, and it broke my heart that in my headcanon that I thought Harry would be an awesome parent. So yeah, it broke my heart, and I was kind of annoyed with Albus the whole time. Not the whole time, like maybe 3/4 of the story, because of how rude he was being to his parents. But I get that I guess the way Harry was written here was that he wasn't open with his children. That's the thing that annoyed me a bit too. It's like, why would Harry not be open with his children? These are his kids. I don't know. Those two things were the things that kind of made me like take off 1 star from the rating. But the thing that I love the most about this book is Scorpius Malfoy. Now let me tell you, I am a huge fan of Draco Malfoy ever since like I started this whole Harry Potter journey. So I had high hopes for how Scorpius was going to be. I like the idea that Scorpius was not as mean as his dad, but he's also very smart, but he's also more open to people and is not as prejudiced because, you know, his dad learned a lot. The fact that he's also like that in the book, but oh my gosh, Scorpius in this book exceeded my expectations. I just love him so much. I'm just so happy that he was portrayed this way, that he was written this way, that this is canon. Scorpius Malfoy, and I'm so happy of his characterization. I just, he's great. I just loved him. I loved reading his parts, and I loved his relationship with Albus. They have the most amazing bro TP. Some people can argue it's more than bro TP, and that's fine. I just love his friendship with Albus. It was just so sweet how much you could see that they love each other very much. So I like that. Also Scorpius's relationship with his dad, I really like that. Also part of my headcanon was that he has a good relationship with his dad, because Draco doesn't want this same relationship that he had with Lucius. He wants to be more open with his son. So I had that already going in my head, and the fact that it is canon that he's on good terms with his dad is also great. Yeah, I know some people were like annoyed about the fact that they won't open up that Scorpius and Albus should be together, and that in the end it was just like, oh, by the way, Scorpius and Rose are going to be together. But I am not bothered by that at all. I mean, I understand why people are annoyed by that. I mean, they could have gone with, you know, Albus and Scorpius have more chemistry together, which is true. Their relationship is more developed compared to Rose. Yeah, Rose was just like really mean to him the whole time. Not really mean, just, you know, just pushing him aside. And Scorpius never was ever mean to Rose. He was always praising her and just admired her from afar. I don't know, because again, reading fanfiction from back then before this came out, I was always a Scorpius Rose shipper. So yeah, I'm okay with Scorpius and Rose being a thing because my shipper heart is just really happy about that. But I do get why people would be upset about that too. So, you know, everyone can ship whatever they want. So overall, I think the book was okay. I mean, I feel like because it's a play, there was many parts in the script that was saying like, oh, this is what's happening, like wind is flashing and stuff. It kind of went over my head, like the part where it's kind of like flash forwarding his years in Hogwarts, how he's bullied and he's talked about and he doesn't like it. So that part kind of confused me a little bit. I know there's going to be like a lot of special effects in this one that just went over like our heads because we just read it and we didn't get to see it. I wish I could have seen the play, you know, instead of read the script. But sadly, it's not gonna happen unless they like stream it. Why can't they just stream plays? Like they could have done it with Hamilton or Cursed Child to stream it in the cinemas. That would have, I mean, that would have given them more money because lots of people would watch that, and not everybody can fly to London to see it. But yeah, those are all my columns about that. All right, those are all my thoughts on Cursed Child, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling and Jack Thorne and John Tiffany. So many people are on this. It's funny, they're all J's. I'll start with J. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video.